The following podcast is a W2M Network original production. Visit W2Mnet.com for all of our other great podcasts, plus news, reviews, articles, and opinions from the worlds of wrestling, video games, football, and entertainment.
Hello and welcome to another Video Games to the Max, as this is the official video games podcast of W2Mnet.com, and this is episode 183, and I'm your host Sean Garmer, and here with me as always Mr. Marc Morrison.
Howdy.
Well, how have things been?
Pretty good, decent. Just playing some games, you?
Just working a lot, so... today I got to stay like almost 2 hours over.
Earning that paycheck.
Yeah, I got the first full paycheck yesterday morning. It was nice. Nice to look at. Then more than half of it goes to bills. So I was like, well, that was fun to look at for a little bit. And then at least the second one, all the bills kind of come at once, so like the second one that comes like in the middle of the month of April will
be a little more fun money.
Yeah, a little more fun. So I know you have been playing some big games that have come out recently. So
you grabbed them for me, so I might as well.
Yeah. I just had to grab A Way Out for Sean Comer as well, so.
Oh, you didn't get him the pass?
It's just a $30 game. So.
Isn't that part of that Xbox? Isn't it either the Xbox or EA pass, or is that just Sea of Thieves?
No, Sea of Thieves is part of the Xbox Game Pass.
Okay.
A Way Out is multi-platform, so.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's only $30, so it's not too bad. But I mean, I guess we'll start with the older one. Since probably after somebody hears us talk about Far Cry 5, they won't want to hear about anything else. So I've heard a lot about Ni No Kuni 2, lots of mixed reactions. There's either like people really love it or people just find it really annoying. So what camp are you in on?
I like it,
Okay.
but there's a few caveats. Ni No Kuni 2 is basically a blend of a Tales game and Suikoden.
Yes,
like
because it has the building thing, right?
Yeah, like the whole battle system is basically kind of from Tales, but better. Because Tales' battle system is weird because you assign button combinations to like move. So it's like up and B is like your special attack. And that's always felt a little awkward to me. And this one, you just assign special moves to like, you have to hold like right R2 and it like activates your move list, and you just press like circle or X to do a move, and you jump, and you have like heavy and light attack and battles and stuff like that. So that's the Tales part, and the Suikoden part is you're trying to build a new kingdom for your character, and you recruit people to work in your kingdom, and your kingdom levels up, and those people level up, and you can assign them to jobs and research things, and yeah, it's like straight out of Suikoden almost, except a little less personality.
And then you also have to level up your gear and stuff that way too? Is that right?
You can. Like, there's you can like build up your gear, but I just get new gear, so it doesn't really matter. So the Pokemon system from the first game is gone.
Right.
Like, you don't collect monsters anymore. There are these things called, one of the kind of annoying parts of some of this game's terminology. There are things in the world called Higgledies, I think.
Yes.
And they're like little monsters you collect. It's not like the Pokemon system where, or like the old Ni No Kuni 2, Ni No Kuni 1 system where, like, your monster was how you played. Like, you barely played as the main character because you just sent monsters out to, like, battle. But the Higgledies are independent from you, and they can attack or heal you, and then you can activate them on the board, or like on the playfield, and they do like special attacks, like they can heal you or do like a mega attack against people or enemies. So the battle system is a lot of fun. Like, you played the first one, didn't you?
Right, yeah. I did.
So this game is both better and worse than the first game. It's better in that it's playable now. Like, I'm 30 hours into it, and I haven't given up. Like, I got like 8 hours in the first game, and I was like, fuck this.
It's hard not to get frustrated by the battles in the first game.
It was really grindy, and I'm of the completionist mindset, really. Like, that's why I'm not into Pokemon that much, because I just want to literally collect them all.
Right.
And it's like, I don't want to waste so much time. So that's gone, which is good, really. But the flip side is Studio Ghibli or whatever didn't do the production of this game, so that is very worse.
Yeah, they lessened the voice acting, right? So
yeah, there's some voice acting, but it's barely there. Like, you get a kingmaker thing that's lofty, that the little Lisa Simpson looking demon thing with you, and it barely talks. And you think back to like Mr. Drippy from the first game, like he was one of the main characters. He was talking nonstop, and this one basically says bollocks every once in a while, and that's about it. And it's like, all right. The story itself is reasonably fine, because it's a cross between like this new king, like the young king, and this guy from the real world, like the president of some country, getting blasted to this fairy tale world and like de-aging and like meeting this king and then forming this nation together. And like some of the characters are pretty good, but it's very flat. It's not bad, but there's just not enough personality there to kind of keep it going, really. And the strategy game system is very weird.
How so?
Because it's basically like rock, paper, scissors, almost like Suikoden, actually, in the same way. Like red is good against green, green is good against blue, and blue is good against red. But then there's also yellow, which I don't know where that factors in, really. And like you can have 4 units that like rotate around you. So you have to like match colors together, which is fine. But I haven't figured out a good way to like level my characters that well. So like one thing was like I have a battle at like level 19 and my guys were level 12, and I couldn't figure out how to get them to level at least, higher level without replaying like one level 4 thing over and over again.
So do you have to play that strategy game a lot, or is it?
It's needed it's needed in some story missions, yeah. Like, I think they may even add a little more for that, but like, I don't really know if they do or not. And it is kind of an interesting system. I just wish they explained it better or had more like battles to go against, because I have like level 20 guys and like the nearest one next to me is like level 29, and I know if I try it I'm gonna get wrecked.
That seems a bit unfair.
And the worst part about the game actually is to build up your kingdom, to build new buildings or to like research topics or stuff like that. There's like a king currency you have to spend, and that accrues hourly. It's almost like it's like Farmville or something, or like a Facebook game, and you're just sitting there waiting for an hour for this thing to fucking fill. And I'm like, oh man, if there's ever like DLC, just like buy a coin doubler or something, I'd be on that in a second.
I guess it expects you to do the side quests and all that stuff, and in the time that you're going to do that.
Oh yeah, but like most of the side quests take like 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Like, they aren't hard, most of them anyway, unless you're like really underleveled. Like, that's one weird thing is like I have been pretty consistently underleveled for this game and not had any problems. Like once or twice I had a game over, but that was me going against like an enemy like 20 levels higher than me. So like that's a big no-no, but most of the time I'm hitting like enemies like at least 5 or 6 levels higher than me and not having a problem really. And I'm not that good at it, so.
So do you level up the higgledies too, or just?
There's like a little store you can go to, and that like the woman there does it. It's a level 5 game, so you collect a whole bunch of crap, like buttons and pieces of ribbon and tree bark and sap and
Every part of the tree.
Not even that. I mean, just you collect so much stuff, and you basically don't want to sell any of it because you may need it. You may need it for something. You may need it to upgrade your higgledy, or to like upgrade a piece of armor, or to create a piece of a new weapon, or someone may need it for like their side quests, like collect 3 pieces of this special cloth, and it's like, well, fortunately I have it because I never sell anything in that game, so here.
Well, at least it makes side quests easy though.
Yeah, like it's overall a good game. It's a bit of a throwback compared to like most other RPGs, I would say. It's not bad. I actually do like it. I want to finish it. That's why I'm putting it off the review a little first. But it's just very not as breathtaking as the first game. But it's also a better game, so that's kind of the trade-off.
Yeah, it's like, what do you care more about, the production part, or do you care more about the gameplay and all that?
Yeah.
So
it's kind of like Kingdom Hearts 1 versus Kingdom Hearts 2.
That's a fair comparison there.
Yeah.
So what about Far Cry 5 that came out this week?
Yeah, I've been playing Far Cry games since 3, since I didn't like 2 at all, and I didn't like 1. This one's interesting. They did away with a lot of stuff from like Far Cry 3 or 4, like the minimap is gone. You don't climb towers anymore. You just kind of explore the map and stuff unlocks it kind of naturally. The gameplay is fine. I unlocked, or like you can call in like 2 helpers, 1 helper at first, and then a 2nd helper later on. You can like level into it. So I roll with a sniper lady and a guy in a plane that carpet bombs areas. So between those 2, I can take up any base I run into.
Does it?
I just hang back and let them do all the work.
Just go in there and take out your alphas.
Oh yeah, like, and I remain undetected too, because they can be seen, but I'm not. So that's all the game cares about.
Wow.
Hunting is pretty much gone in this game. You can still hunt, but all you get is like skins to like sell. There's no crafting anymore, or crafting like the big wallet or more holsters. There's nothing like that anymore. It's all skill based. Like you complete 10 headshots with a handgun, you get 2 perk points to put in this level tree. And that's where you unlock like, hold more ammo, or hold a 3rd weapon, or help with like the call in 2 people instead of just 1, stuff like that. So that's a little strange. It's not necessarily bad, and thankfully there are a ton of skill magazines to like. Here's basically like a free skill point for you to collect, because I'm kind of running out of crap in that skill challenge system that I want to do, and I don't want to kill 10 people with a shotgun. The story is very bad. Like the main characters are fine, and the setup is reasonably okay, but there's a disconnect because you're playing a sheriff, like a new deputy, going into this town that hate this religious cult, but they're all doomsday preppers and like anti-government idiots. It's like, why does every farm in this Montana county have a doomsday prepper shelter? Like, this is kind of strange. And also, you don't have a character. Like, when you start the game, you create a character, like a male, female, and then you go to like a character creator and like pick your outfit, which is bizarre because it's a first-person game. You never see yourself except for when you die. It's like, I don't need to be wearing like a motorcycle helmet in flight suit because I don't care.
So, I mean, was it for maybe for the multiplayer or something?
Yeah, I mean, you see your other character, your other player, but I'm playing with a buddy of mine. I don't think he's gonna care what I look like.
Right.
And I don't care what he looks like. So, but you don't even have like a name. Like, your character is just called like the Rookie, and it's like, what the shit is this? Like, in Far Cry 3, you had a character, or in Far Cry 4, you were like AJ Gale. Like, in this,
Right.
It's just like, you're the Rookie. You have no voice. Your guy does not talk at all, except for like grunting when he falls hard. It's like, what did he just? Is the same guy who wrote this to like the past few Assassin's Creed games? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, I feel like they thought that the story was really gonna hit with people.
Like,
And-
the villains. There's only 4 villains too. Like, that's another kind of weird thing. Like, there should be a few more of these guys, cult members kind of laying around. Like, the story is okay so far. I'm not that far into it. I'm only like 6 or 7 hours, but there's not a lot of motivation. Like, in the beginning, like you and 3 other cops go arrest this guy, and then 3 cops get taken, and then that sets you off on your quest. But you're with the other cops for like so few amount of minutes that it don't matter to you at all. Like, if you just think back to like Far Cry 3 or Far Cry 4, like, they had a story. Like, it may not have been a good story, but it was a story.
Right. So you don't think that it does not deliver on the promise that they tried to give and all the build up?
Oh no, not at all. It, like, some of the side characters, like the minions you can get, they kind of have an interesting story, but their dialogue repeats so much that it turns bad. And yeah, it's just it's unfocused. It seems like I don't know who wrote this one, but it isn't the same guy who did Far Cry 3 or Far Cry 4, at least I can tell.
But the gameplay's still good, though, right? It's just, if you don't care about the story and you just want to go in there and liberate outposts and do all that, then...
Oh, yeah. Like, me and a friend of mine did that last night, and that was fine. Let's see. Yeah, completely different writers for this one than the past 2 games, at least. So, that explains a lot.
Yeah.
One of them is a very French-looking name with Jean-Sebastien Decant. So it's like, yep, I can understand why there's like a very weird Americana theme throughout this entire thing.
Makes sense.
It's entirely misplaced. Like, I think you had more of a character in Far Cry Primal than you do in this game.
That's kind of sad.
Yeah.
But I guess they want you to pay attention to the other characters, so...
Oh, that's another thing is, so the game world is basically split up into 3 areas. Like, the 3 lieutenants have the 3 areas, like north, east, and south. So I'm in the south area. I'm fighting like this, just doing missions and like blowing stuff up or doing side missions. And at certain hard intervals, it's basically like game on, and they send, like, the lieutenant sends a capture team to get you. And you get taken out by what they call a bliss bullet, which is like this bullet covered with drugs. And that's how you meet like the lieutenant. And you have like a talk with him, and then he sets you off again. And it happens 3 different times through each area. And it's like, this is bad. This is really dumb.
Wow.
I haven't I haven't faced her yet, but like the female lieutenant you face, she's like the drug runner or like the drug maker,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess like her boss battle is like involving magical powers. Like she teleports and like has a fireballs, and I'm like, I don't want to play that.
Oh man.
I I would like them to make a Far Cry game that doesn't have drugs in it.
That's just like the appeal of the Far Cry games, I guess. He's gotta be drugged. It's...
No, the appeal should be like going into this outpost and killing everyone with my sniper lady.
So do you get animals in this one? Or?
Yeah, I unlocked one. There are three. There's a dog, which I have, a cougar, which I unlocked with my friend, but co-op story progress doesn't carry over into main game. So that sucks. Like
Yeah.
your character progress does. Like if you get a new skill point or like more money, that does, but not story stuff at all. And there's like a bear you can unlock also.
Yeah, I've heard of people like using the bear. Because he goes in and terrorizes stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
But it's a interesting game. Like I'm curious to see how it ends, and I'll be more curious to see how that DLC hits, if that's good or not. But the like story of Far Cry 5 is like as bad as far as Fallout 4's is.
ooh, that's really not a great comparison at all. So, well, we'll have to see. Maybe it gets better as you progress.
Well, I already feel like I'm overpowered because I just bought like one sniper rifle and I tricked out the bow and arrow, so I'm taking over everything with that and the sniper lady and pilot guy. So
Well, there you go. I guess you'll have gotten a lot farther by next week, and maybe some thoughts will change, maybe they don't, and yeah, that DLC will have to make some strides as far as that goes to improve that. At least you hope, anyway.
yeah, at least Far Cry 3 is coming eventually.
That's true. You can get that, and that's also coming by itself without having to buy the season pass as well. So there's that plus. Speaking of plus, let's just go ahead since we are technically on Easter Eve here. We're about to kick into the next month of PS Plus games and Xbox Live Gold games as well. Mad Max, a actually underrated, pretty good game coming to PS Plus, and also Trackmania Turbo, which is not too bad either. For the PS3, you can totally see they're starting to go down in quality. As also, I mean, they've pretty much given away over how many years so many games. I mean, really. In Space We Brawl and Toy Home, and the Vita gets 99 vidas, which is Spanish for lives, and Qbert Rebooted, which is for all systems. So,
That's one thing
Go ahead.
One thing I should mention is I finally got my PS Vita working again.
Hey, there you go. You can play that Persona 4 Gold then.
Yep, I bought that like 2 weeks ago, and I can finally play it.
Dig that 100 hours in that. Get ready.
Yeah. Try to download a cheat program so I can just blow through that game.
Let's hope so, because if not, you'll be there for a while. April's Xbox Live Gold games. I swear that Slime Rancher has been on this before, but here it is again. April 1st to the 30th. Assassin's Creed Syndicate. That's a pretty damn good game to get for your Xbox One. April 16th to May 15th. And Disney Pixar Cars 2 for 360, and Dead Space 2, which is also a really good Dead Space game for 360 at the back half of the month. So,
yep, relive Dead Space's folly. Or like that's when Dead Space 2 was good, and then Dead Space after that turns to crap.
Yeah,
And then
Dead
they
Space 3.
then they shut the company down.
Yep. The story of EA, shutting the company down. No, ruining the franchise and then shutting the company down. So, pretty decent lineups for both there.
Yeah.
So, see, we were talking about Ubisoft just a little bit ago. Might as well go ahead and talk about this because this has been a story off and on this year and last of Vivendi trying to take over Ubisoft. And that's apparently done with. Ubisoft is finally free of them. They've convinced Vivendi to agree to a deal where they sell all of its 30.5 million stock, which is the 27% that they have of Ubisoft, and they've been giving away or basically allowing other people to buy portions of the stock so that even though Vivendi agreed not to buy stock for a certain amount of time, just so that nobody else gets a wild hair to do the same thing Vivendi was doing. So, smart by Ubisoft at that point.
Yeah, I'm glad, because I didn't want Vivendi to mess with Ubisoft at all.
Yeah, didn't really need for them to try to take over and then send it back to the model they used to have where it totally was hurting Ubisoft a lot, so...
Well, it always seemed weird to me because like Vivendi got out of games years ago, and I was like, "Why are you getting back in?" Like at the time, you had Sierra and Blizzard. I mean, they were not small companies. What happened?
Yeah, one they had Activision too, right?
No, Activision was separate, but they sold Blizzard to Activision like after World of Warcraft happened. It's like. Good planning there, guys.
Yeah, good job, guys. If only you would have stuck around a little longer. Might have been rolling in the dough at that point. But hey, they're lost, and at least they figured out that might as well just stay out of it for now.
Yeah.
The big thing that kind of happened, well, I don't know how much of a big thing it is. This new law came down that sort of is just basically putting the hammer down on anything kind of that could be construed as sex related on the internet. So like Craigslist closed down their other section. There's been other things. Google has all of a sudden started basically doing takedowns on porn that is in Google Drives and all this other kind of stuff related to that. And so Microsoft has also kind of put in their thing because people use Skype for this kind of thing and make money off of it. One that Gary and I have to talk about on the wrestling podcast a lot because she gets in trouble all the time. Sunny decided to make a name for herself doing that outside of the sort of having a name from wrestling. And,
yeah, but she'll be in jail for a while, so that doesn't matter.
Yeah, but still, now Microsoft has also basically said that they can take down they could technically take down my Skype for offensive language and graphic violence. The problem is, this is kind of like the Twitch, when Twitch made their new rules where they had to re-clarify and re-clarify and re-clarify again. I feel like Microsoft's going to have to wind up doing the same thing because offensive language to me and you is different than offensive language to somebody who lives in another country or, somebody who lives down the street. So what really construes as offensive language and what construes as graphic violence, So as far as video games goes, a spokesperson has said that nothing changes as far as Xbox Live, which people were worried about. Well, if I get into an argument with a 12-year-old and, he starts saying the F word and I start saying the F word, are somebody going to get, their Xbox Live account taken down or whatever. And so far, there is no change in that, but you never know. So
I don't agree with the sex part of this. Like, what two people do, via webcam is their business.
right.
But I actually would not mind if, like, some 12-year-old was swearing at me in Xbox Live if his ass just got banned.
I mean, that should be happening anyway without this kind of going in there. So,
Like, there's a difference between, like, the occasional, like, swear word and, like, a nonstop, like, 10-minute, fuck you rant or something like that.
yeah.
So I'd record, like, I don't know if there is this or not, but I'd record, like, what he's saying over Xbox Live and I send it to the team and go, have fun.
I'm going to assume you would have to have the separate, like, audio recorder thing, like, with the Elgato to record.
Well,
that.
I'm sure they could have some service where they have the message. So just click like save message to Xbox or save message to cloud or something.
Right. Well, I mean, you technically have to file a report, and then that allows them to get into your messages and whatever else.
Yeah.
That they need to. So
there used to be. It's gone now, and it's been gone for at least a few years now. But there used to be a great site called "Why Was I Banned?" And this was big for the Xbox 360 about like people quote unquote getting banned for like doing nothing. And like the moderators were just like, you were cheating or you were harassing players. And it was just like page after page of like people trying to argue bans, and it was the most hysterical thing ever.
they need to bring that back just for the hilarity of it. But yeah, I feel like this is going to get, if it becomes a problem, it will get, I think the whole law is going to get taken down eventually anyway, because there's unconstitutional parts of it that are just rings silly. But hey, why not just let them go through this and see how long it lasts, I guess. It's kind of like technically some point next month they can start doing the the net neutrality, taking that off. We'll see how long that lasts, because we already have 25 states that are about to go send lawsuits to Congress and everyone else. So
yeah.
Hopefully it gets repealed again, but with this government, you never know. Getting back to video game related things, I guess. The Sea of Thieves had what was being called in the game as the death penalty, which Rare planned to introduce some sort of like, you had to pay gold for dying in Sea of Thieves, and players obviously didn't like that. So they decided to just do away with it completely, which is a good idea, because I've never been a big fan of, like, the way Mario does it. It's not that big a deal, right? It just takes 10 coins and
yeah,
whatever.
but it's not like in Mario that other players are actively ganking your coins as well.
Right. So, and that's the thing too, like if somebody were to go and kill you, you're paying the death cost. So let's not make this an even grindier game, which makes sense.
Have you played Sea of Thieves yet, or no?
I have not. I've heard from Stuart that he really enjoys it, but he also loves to play games drunk with his friends. So that pretty much sums up the reason why you should play Sea of Thieves.
Hopefully he's drinking rum and or vodka.
I've heard that if you play by yourself, it is really boring.
Yeah, I haven't played it, and I doubt I will, honestly. But the whole thing kind of reminds me of a lesser version of No Man's Sky.
Makes sense.
Like, not as far as like the procedurally generated world, all that crap, but just like you have to play the game one way, and if you don't play it this one way, then you're not going to get anything out of it.
Yeah, that's what I felt like from reading reviews and stuff like that too. And also I think it's difficult because the reviewers have seen a lot of that game, and there doesn't seem to be a lot different in the game from what they saw. So
And it doesn't
yeah,
seem to be like a lot of progression either. Like it's not like you're getting a better ship. It's the same ship. You're just like attaching different sails to it, but that doesn't matter at all.
yeah. See, that's a problem, and yeah, I mean, it does not help at all that not much was changed from all the builds that people saw. So if you're seeing the same thing over and over, you're gonna get really tired of it even faster than people that are coming new to the game. So
Yeah.
I mean, I would assume like I mean, I've only been on cruises. I've never been on a boat by itself, but being on a boat by yourself is kind of boring anyway. I mean, it's meant for you to be on it with a crew or with friends or with family or whatnot.
Well,
So,
it's like the difference between going bowling by yourself and then going bowling with a group of friends,
right, exactly.
or like seeing a movie by yourself or seeing it with friends. And it's like I've seen movies by myself, sure, but seeing it with like other people is more fun.
Yeah, I feel like a movie can be an exception, but like anything that's like bowling, that thing, even gaming to an extent, is you're gonna have more fun because the people are around you. It's a party atmosphere, all that, you know.
Yeah, like you play a rock band with online people. Like
Right,
I don't
it's a
do
lot
that.
more fun when I get to hear the people on my end, talking about the game or whatever. I mean, look, I enjoy it. It's a relaxing thing for me that I can play by myself, but it's still a lot more fun to you can hear and converse with the people about whatever before the song starts. So,
Yeah.
speaking of, you gave me a great segue that I couldn't take at that point. To, what, damn it! Now I forgot about No Man's Sky coming to Xbox One.
Yep.
I've heard they improved No Man's Sky a lot after the initial like reviews and people playing, and I know you and Daniel liked it anyway. But I mean, have you ever gone back and played it after they improved it, or?
I think I tried once, but I was so lost in the game that it was like I couldn't get into it at all
I mean, it's
because
good. Yeah, go ahead.
they didn't really roll a lot like a tutorial for current players. They rolled out like a new tutorial for like new players, and it's like, okay, well, I'm in the starbase and I don't know what to do now.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm guessing the people that are new are learning things, but you're learning stuff that you already knew, so it doesn't help you any, right?
Yeah,
Or,
or like nothing, like barely even anything pops up. It's like there's like this whole transportation network thing that it's like, all right, I don't want to do that.
so it's getting an Xbox One X port, which is making Sean Murray call it No Man's Sky Next, with next all capitalized because that just emphasizes it, I guess. And it's bringing the 4K and HDR graphics support and also improving things in the game as well. They're not really talking about much else, but that's good.
It'll have a 1 versus 100 online arena mode.
Yeah, like Master Chief will show up
Yeah,
randomly.
go visit the Master Chief planet. The
Yeah.
planet is just his head, like Mario Galaxy.
I mean, I think that's cool if you never got to play No Man's Sky and you were sort of interested in it, but
I would say too late. Like, that game came
yeah.
out 3 years ago or 2 years ago. Like
Yeah,
unless they were locked into a pretty long contract from Sony, that's a while.
Sony might have released them from the contract after the way
That's
it
true.
just bombed.
Fizzled, yeah.
Yeah. So, I can. I mean, like I said, it's if for some reason you were not part of one of those people that, you didn't get to play it, and you were still interested after all the bad press, then I guess go you.
It's more like if you have an Xbox One X and you go into a store looking for new games, that's all you're gonna get.
Yeah, or you could, you could play your old Xbox original games.
Here's this 3-year-old port of a somewhat mediocre PS4 game. Enjoy.
Have fun, folks. At least you can play Hellblade. So that one's good. Definitely play that.
For 4 hours and then it's over.
Yeah, that's true. It's not very long, but it's a great experience. Speaking of remastered games that you should play, Mark of the Ninja was shown in that Nindies showcase for the Switch, but it's also coming to other systems, as many of the Nindies tend to do. It's also on PC, PS4, Xbox One. So it will include the previous expansion, New Game Plus, and of course all the stuff that usually comes with remasters, HD, video, all that.
I already have the game on Steam, so I better get a free copy or a heavily discounted one.
I'm sure they will. Steam's pretty good about that.
No, it's not up to Steam. It's up to individual companies. Some companies do it and some don't. It's like, well,
but you like that game, though, right? It was really good.
Oh, yeah. It's like getting free crap on Steam.
Well, getting free crap on Steam's never bad unless it's just a really bad game or something.
I'm signing up for Humble Bundle copies of like The Darkness 2 and Spec Ops: The Line, even though I already have 4 or 5 copies on Steam also as well.
Spec Ops: The Line is great regardless, so
Yep.
Darkness 2 is okay.
I probably like that more than Spec Ops. That's me.
I don't know. I like the story well enough. I don't know, kind of got tired of it after a while.
I really wish The Darkness 1 had come to PC.
I'm surprised they wouldn't have just have them both come together in a pack or something.
I want to say Microsoft might have published The Darkness 1. That might be why it didn't come to PC.
Well, they're bringing everything to PC. Might as well.
Well, they're bringing new games to PC, but not old ones. Like, I know they published Lost Odyssey, so I imagine that's why that didn't come to PC yet. Or never will.
I feel like that game people would really want to play that again if it came with, all the fixins to PC.
Oh, yeah, I'd actually probably buy it, but Sakaguchi, like, who knows with his company, they might not be able to have the money to put it on a PC.
Yeah, that would just have to be a Microsoft and that company coming together and just being like, all right, let's just do this.
Yeah.
Which I doubt they're going to do, probably. Street Fighter is getting a live-action TV series. The Mortal Kombat one did pretty decently. So, why not? This one's going to be based off of Street Fighter 2, which makes sense because it's probably still the most well-known of the Street Fighter games. Yeah, it's going to tell the tale of the World Warrior tournament as, the same thing we saw in Street Fighter 2. And it's going to focus on Ryu, Ken, Guile, and Chun-Li. Because, obviously they're fighting M. Bison and,
I look forward to the inevitable Chun-Li versus Vega shower fight sequence. Because they have to have one in every Street Fighter 2 thing they do. This might be fine, but I guess it really depends on casting. Like, if you get believable, Ryu, Ken, Chun-Li, and Guile, and then, like, the villains, obviously. Like, if they try to go, like, super realistic to to the source material, or if they try to make it somewhat believable in the real world.
I mean, they don't have to do much to do better than that Street Fighter movie, so whatever they can do to...
Are they going to get Kylie Minogue back as Cammy?
I don't think we need that. Or what's she even doing? No. So.
She's a singer. Like, she's in, like, she hosts, like, I think, like, Australian Idol or something. Like, she's huge.
Okay. Well, I know she's a big singer. Like, I guess most of her stuff now only comes out, like, in Australia or something, because I don't ever hear it on the radio.
I think, you never did for her, like, in America, but I think she's been, like, Europe a few times. That's kind of about it. Like, she was in that really horrible Doctor Who episode, that one Christmas special.
That's right.
It was terrible. Yeah. Like, I guess I'll try to watch it. I never did watch that Mortal Kombat thing. Like, I find most source material adaptations to be bad.
Well, Mortal Kombat does have one of the better video game movies ever, so there's that as well. I mean, it's a very small
bar.
Yeah, bar, but
the bar is Mortal Kombat and that Castlevania animated series, and that only worked because it's animated.
Which, I mean, like, I still think Double Dragon is fun for what it is. Like, I don't think it's,
I hate Alyssa Milano's blonde dye-jobbed haircut.
I'll agree there. She's just better as a brunette anyway, but
I was gonna say I saw Ready Player One today. They have a pretty funny Goro sequence in that thing.
Oh, I need to watch. I might watch that tomorrow, or I might go on Sunday while the kid is at church and watch that. So I'm still behind on that. I still need to watch Black Panther: Pacific Rim Uprising as well. So I'm behind on the movies.
You're good for that one.
Was Pacific Uprising bad or something?
Think of a Guillermo del Toro movie where he didn't direct it, so there's no care involved in the making of the movie.
That makes me sad.
Yeah.
But, like, so there's nothing redeeming about it at all? Like, just...
I mean, I haven't seen it, but I know it's been compared a lot to Power Rangers and Transformers. And it's like, well, Power Rangers is okay, but comparing it to Transformers is like a big insult to Pacific Rim.
That's sad. I mean, some of the Transformers were okay as well. So, I mean, some of the other ones were bad, but...
The only good one was the 80s movie.
Well, that one stands by itself. Not to mention the soundtrack is, like, glorious.
Yep.
Like, classics as far as soundtracks go. So, I don't think, I mean, it's not like the first one was, like, out of this world great either. So,
I mean, yeah, to an extent. I mean, it's just robots versus monsters. But there was I liked the first one a lot because it felt like a very lived-in world.
Mm-hmm.
And the characters were like caricatures, but they were good. And in this one, like, the main guy's named Jake. It's like,
I loved Ron Perlman's character in that movie.
Yeah.
He's great. I don't know about... Like, I like John Boyega as an actor, but I don't know about this character.
Casting him as, like, Idris Elba's son is a great casting choice.
Right.
But making the character so bland and boring, like, nope. You could have done better, and you didn't.
Sadness. So is Ready Player One worth watching, or?
Yeah, the theater... I don't know if it's the theater or the movie itself. It was pretty dark, and all the fight sequences were in the dark. I think because of CGI. It was a fine enough movie. Like, it wasn't the greatest movie in the world, but I've seen a lot of people bitching about the movie online about, like, nostalgia bait, or stuff like that, and it's like, didn't you see Roger Rabbit? Like, what the fuck do you think that was? When that came out in like the late '80s, like that was the whole thing about that movie was nostalgia bait. So it's basically like Roger Rabbit in that sense. Like, if you just want to see like a Gundam versus the Iron Giant versus Mecha Godzilla, this movie has your back.
Well, I mean, that's something some people might want to see.
Yeah. It doesn't need to be like a deep introspective movie. It's, player programs beating the shit out of each other.
I've heard there's a lot of like little Easter eggs to older games and
stuff
like that.
It really reminded me of like Wreck-It Ralph.
Okay, I love Wreck-It Ralph, but that's also because those two characters were great. But
as far as like here's going to the lobby and you see Q*bert, Pac-Man, and Sonic together, or like that whole sequence, like Ralph's intervention, or like the support meeting, like him and Zangief and then Bison, and
yeah,
it's kind of like that.
So funny. It's like, wow, that's great.
And that's what was missing from that Wreck-It Ralph 2 trailer. It's like they had no game characters in it at all.
Maybe they just want to have them all surprise.
Maybe. But it looked a lot like that Family Guy or Futurama episode of The Internet.
That too.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad. But I feel like they're trying not to give away things like that in the trailer, but well, maybe I'm also wishfully thinking as well, so.
Yeah, maybe.
Who knows? Finally, we have confirmation of Dragon Quest XI coming to North America and Europe September 4th on PS4 and Steam. The Nintendo Switch version will not come out in the West this year, and the 3DS version is not coming out in the West at all, which is weird because you've had the other Dragon Quest games on the 3DS. Okay. Why? So
I could see like like them just saying, looking at the market share and going like, 3DS it's still somewhat viable, but you have to imagine the Switch is taking a big bite out of that pie.
I get it. Like, they probably don't want the split people, so just go ahead and buy the Switch version and don't worry about the 3DS version.
You have a Switch and a 3DS. If the game came out, what would you buy it for?
Yeah, it's probably pretty rare that people don't. If you have a 3DS, you're not, at least it's by then, buying a Switch or already have a Switch. So I can see that point.
I've never played a Dragon Quest game at all.
Never? Not even 8?
I played Dragon Quest Heroes, the Dynasty Warriors one, which I liked, but that was about it.
Okay, well, 7 and 8...
That's not a Dragon Quest game, though, so...
Yeah. I mean, I've played 5, 7, and 8.
Was 8 the big PS2 one?
Yes, 8 was the PS2 one that had the character art by Toriyama.
Like, I think the problem with that series is after 8, and didn't it just move to 3DS, or to the DS and 3DS?
Yes, and then they brought out remastered versions of 7 and 8 to 3DS. So, I
remember seeing a PS2 slime controller at a store one day, and I liked that a lot.
Yeah, it looked really cool. The thing was that they started releasing, like, Dragon Quest, like, Monsters Jokers and the slime games and stuff like that people were kind of like, yeah, this is for real hardcore Dragon Quest fans, and Dragon Quest has not been a huge series over here like it is in Japan, so until they probably should have started with bringing the older games first instead of doing it the other way around, and it might have got a better following, but at least they got some of them. It is disappointing that you're not, I guess, getting to finish 11 on the 3DS or whatnot, but you're getting it on Switch, so I know when they had the direct, we complained about why are you having some of these games on 3DS? Here you go. At least in America, they're doing it right, I guess. There is going to be English dialogue, hard mode, first-person camera mode. Hold on. Wow. When you realize that you were on mute. And yeah.
For all of it?
No, I had put it on pause. And then yeah. So no. I was just on mute to reintroduce. So that was bad. Sorry, people.
Oh.
That had sad to hear that. So the Dragon Quest game, this will be the first time it's going to be on PC.
Yeah.
And hey, yay for you, I guess.
I mean, I probably won't get it, but sure.
I mean, that's cool. It's good that the first mainline one is coming. It's a lot of people that have played this and said it's really good, so kind of excited to see how it plays and all that when it comes. There's also Steins Gate Elite is coming to America, which Steins Gate is great. So
Yeah, I put that in there for you.
So yes, well, thank you for thinking of me. So I still haven't played Steins Gate 0, but the anime is coming, so I don't have to play Steins Gate 0. Because they did a really good job of doing the anime from the visual novel the first time, so I imagine they're going to do the same thing.
Yeah, speaking of that, I guess that Persona 5 anime is coming out soon.
Yes, I'm excited to watch that too. I saw the trailer and I was like, "Oh, can this get here faster? Please, let's get it."
And
going.
Speaking of anime, Dragon Ball Super ended.
Yes, it did. So, they're making the movie, right? And
yeah, there's already a trailer out of the movie.
And then they're going hiatus until they make the next Dragon Ball, whatever.
Yeah.
They need a break. They were putting out episodes pretty fast.
Yeah, much faster than most other shows, so I give them credit.
They know that people love them some Dragon Ball, so smart on them for taking the hit and just getting to relax later, I guess. There's, speaking of not necessarily animated, but this did have a cartoon. Carmen San Diego, which I really like the cartoon, by the way. I don't know, did you watch it?
I have that cartoon in DVD.
So yes, I love the theme song. Is one of those classic like cartoon theme songs.
And watching that cartoon now is funny because you watch it and you realize Jennifer Hale has done the same voice for like 30 years.
Wow. But hey, I guess, like, how long has Mark Hamill done the Joker?
Yes, but he does other voices as well. Like, she does the same voice pretty much.
Wow.
I can almost instantly tell when she's voice acting something because I recognize that voice actress.
I guess when you got an iconic voice, keep using it. I like Gina Rodriguez. I stopped watching Jane the Virgin after like season 2, so because I don't have CW. Technically, I guess I would have CW, but I don't have a DVR anymore, so I have no way to record anything. But she was really good in that. I never seen Annihilation to know, but I do appreciate that they're going. Her name is Carmen. It would make sense to have a sort of Latino actress doing the movie.
I don't know if you remember, but on the cartoon they had Rita Moreno doing the voice actress of Carmen San Diego.
Yeah, I know, but and then she did sort of have the sort of darker tone.
So this is a fine enough idea, but there's two hitches. One is the chief is dead, along with the chief,
right.
So that'll be depressing. And two, what do you think the odds are they get Rockapella to do the theme music?
I doubt it. I mean, are they doing anything?
They're still around, yeah. They still do that song every time they perform, I assume.
I mean, they could, right? I mean, like, I imagine that the fee wouldn't be too high. So,
yeah.
And it depends, right? I know the Chief's dead, but, like, depends on where they're going to take the animated series as well. Is it going to be set after the movie? Where's the movie going to be set in all this? So,
when are they going to do Where in Time as Carmen San Diego?
Yep. We need that too. Maybe that's coming after.
That I don't know if you ever did you ever see that TV show?
I watched it for a little bit.
That was a really weird thing.
It's like, well, we did Where in the World, so let's have our time travel. Why not? I guess it works, right?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
No. Like,
yeah.
The production value was just too weird for me. Like, it was a fine enough like kid show at the time, but I'm like, this set is crazy.
They had too much going on. I was like, okay. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad somebody is trying to bring this back. So, props to you.
Remember when it was rumored that Jennifer Lopez was going to be Carmen San Diego?
That would have been weird.
No, that would have been bad. There's a difference.
I think she's been fine as an actress, like in some movies.
Yes.
So,
20 years ago when she was still acting.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like then Carmen San Diego would be a sex symbol, and I don't know that we need that.
Yeah, we don't.
We're fine with that.
If that's the case, just get Rita Moreno back in that role.
I mean, not that Gina Rodriguez is not hot, because she is, but, I mean, let's be honest. Every time they did a back shot of Carmen San Diego with Jennifer Lopez, I mean, that's just a whole different deal there.
Yeah.
Well, we've talked about it several times, and it's finally happening. John Cena is Duke Nukem. Pretty perfect for me. I mean, like, I know that doesn't play this character in WWE, but he's pretty much, sort of on the outskirts of WWE at this point. So, why not? I mean,
I really want there to be a scene where it's John Cena and the Bella Twins together, and he looks at both of them, and he picks Nikki because she has a bigger chest. Please make that happen in this film.
I mean, he pretty much, I know you don't watch it, but when I did watch Total Divas, he makes comments about that all the time. So it would not be out of the realm of it happening. That'd be great, though. I want to see it. He acts like that on Total Divas, like just a total jerk and like the total jock guy. So I could see it happening. See it working out for this role.
Now they need to get The Rock back in to be that Johnny Bravo movie.
Oh, yes. That needs to happen. I'm surprised he's not in there, like, trying to produce it himself and all that. Like, I know he's probably been dying to play Elvis in a movie at some point. So
if they ever do a Bubba Hotep 2, they can do that.
Maybe not. At this point, I will not be surprised by anything getting greenlit with what gets greenlit now. So it's actually surprising some of the stuff that gets shut down, I think, more than what gets greenlit at this point. PSVR gets another price cut, that's really good for the PSVR. It means people might be able to buy it. $299 with the camera bundle, which means it will be $399 if you get the one with the Move controllers. And that also means the Doom VFR bundle goes down to $299. The Skyrim bundle goes to $349. And yeah, this is going to happen all over the world. So how low does it have to go for you?
$50. That's all I have to spare. Also, like, the problem really would be, like, I don't have the room for the headset.
Yeah.
Like, that one might be okay, but, like, I couldn't. I'm on a laptop, so that could help, but I have a very small room, so do anything like room scale or, like, even, like, the Wii crap, like, I could barely do that in my room.
Ah.
Like
you can sit down and do it, right? So you don't necessarily have to have...
Like, for the Vive, there's a game called Audio Shield, which is, like, hitting blocks away, like, you'd be using the remotes to, like, hit blocks away of like that come at you of, like, your music. You have to stand up for that, and it's like that doesn't work for my space.
That also seems like, what if you? But are you only going like side to side? I imagine you're not going like forward and backward.
No.
Okay. As long as I don't have images of people like hitting things in their room because they had to go.
Yeah.
Forward. I don't know. I feel like if it ever drops to like 150, I might give it a whirl. But
I'm sure GameStop will have one eventually.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'll just get like pink eye from using it or something.
Well, especially with the new one coming out that has the stuff that people wanted in the first run.
Yeah, but that's like so far, like nitpicky that you and I wouldn't care.
Yeah, that's true too. What has the headphones like already in it, right? So.
I mean, that's nice, but having like HDR, and that crap, it's like you people need lives.
I don't know that I'm ever gonna get I'm not gonna say ever, but it might have to be the next generation of consoles before I get, which we're probably not too far from at this point, but at least another couple of years before I get a 4K TV, even though I'm sure the consoles will work with these TVs we have now, so.
Yeah, I just don't have the room for like a big TV anyway. Like I have like a 26-inch TV, maybe 28-inch, and I sit a foot away from it, or 2 feet away from it, so it's perfectly fine for me.
Well, they sell 4K like 27-inch ones, right?
Yeah, but I don't need some 50-inch monstrosity in my room that if I put it in here, I couldn't fit anything else in here.
Nah, yeah, I have a 39-inch in my room, and then my computer itself is a 27-inch monitor.
Yeah.
And that's fine. So, I've had the same TVs for like years, and neither one is above like 40 inches, and I'm totally okay with that. I don't need I know there's people that like, I think I heard a guy the other day, he's like, I don't even bother with TVs unless they're 65 inches or more. I was like, okay. You do that, man.
You should have asked me if you drove a Porsche and had multiple guns, because that would have confirmed they had a small penis.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask him if he was compensating for something, but
Yeah.
Didn't feel like possibly getting punched.
If you sit 20 feet away from your TV, then yes, size matters to an extent, but you don't need some 80-inch TV that takes up the entire wall.
Yeah, exactly. If you're sitting really close to it, then it's unnecessary. at that point. And I should have mentioned this when we were talking about the remasters, but Red Faction Guerrilla is getting remastered. Jesus, PR people. I love the press release too. The guy's like, "This is my job. Don't get mad at me for the pun." I was like, "No, I'm pretty sure I can get mad at you for the pun."
You can get mad at him, but you can at least respect him for his honesty.
Totally agree.
Like he's not trying to be coy or like, look at how clever I am.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, you're the only one that's ever come up with that, man. This is the good Red Faction, right?
Yeah, of the 4 Red Factions, there's been one good one. Like, Guerrilla is not a bad game, but it gets very boring, like, the midway through, when you have to, like, actually do missions. It's like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah. It's supposed to come out this year, so it'll be almost the 10-year anniversary.
Also,
yeah.
Go on.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, that game also gets pretty hard, like, later on, too. It's like,
well, people love them. They're hard games.
Yeah.
So, I guess bring on another one, but I don't know. I know that there was that one person that kept saying after they bought the studio, like, "Oh, we need a remaster of this," but okay, I guess why not? Somebody's gonna buy it, I'm sure.
I don't know about that, but
they can put it out at least.
Yeah,
and hope
they can sucker someone in probably, especially if it's going to be like a budget title, which it should be.
Yeah, I would hope that it's like 40 or something like that, but THQ Nordic's pretty smart. I would think that they would, but who knows? They might try to say it's been long enough, 10 years, people might really be excited for this and put the slap the 60 tag on there and, well, not buying that.
Never sell a copy.
Speaking of not seeing again, perhaps after Avengers 4, no more Chris Evans as Captain America. He says he's probably not renewing his contract because you want to get off the train before they push you off, which he's not wrong. And it seems like a lot of these guys are going to come through that point where Disney's going to have to play hardball probably and not want to pay them a bunch of money to renew again. And
yeah, but to me it depends on how much like Avengers is going to do. Like, if it makes $1 billion, then they'll happily pay him whatever he wants.
You think this is posturing for money, or you think he really means like he's?
No, I think he's pretty much done. But if they came to him and said, "We'll pay $50 million," he'll be like, "All right, let's slap on the costume again."
Yeah, I mean,
not this may sound bad, but everyone does have their price.
Oh, I agree with you, but good God, all you ever hear about is Disney being like $20 million for Robert Downey Jr. is a lot. I don't know that they would offer all those guys that much.
Well, that's why I say like it depends on how well Avengers does. Like you have to imagine like Chris Evans, Robert Downey Jr., Chris Hemsworth, like they're getting paid more than Karen Gillan or like Tom Holland or the lesser known actors of compared to like those three.
Well, even like Scarlett Johansson's probably not getting paid as much as they are.
Yeah.
Or
anyone really.
Yeah. Anyone except, maybe what's his face? Mark Ruffalo. He might be.
I even doubt him. But because he's only been in 3 of those movies.
But hasn't he won I swear he's been nominated for some award.
Oh yeah, I think he's won an Emmy or a Golden Globe, but that doesn't really matter to them.
Well, I thought you get some kind of price tag if it's an Oscar, right? If you win an Oscar, you automatically get put into a certain price bracket.
You can. That doesn't mean like you have to also look at his contract probably. Like he probably signed a 5 or 6 picture deal. So
Yeah, which those Avengers and all that counts, and then he doesn't really get his own movie, so
yeah, he won a Golden Globe and then an Oscar. So
yeah,
and an Emmy. So
oh, he's won the triumvirate. Go him.
but like I said, like also you just have to imagine like around Marvel Phase 5, they'll just kill everyone off and just reboot the MCU.
Well, they're already talking about there's going to be people that are going to die.
Well, I mean, like everyone though, like you know, you're probably not going to get like, what's his name, Sherlock, Benedict Cumberbatch, do like a 9-picture deal.
I just think that eventually they're going to all of them are going to get tired of doing it. So they're going to have to replace them eventually, or they're going to just kill them off and not do that character for a while.
Well, that's what I mean by kill them off and then reboot the whole universe to be like younger people, younger actors who are more hungry and can, you know, you want to have an 11-film Iron Man deal? All right, yeah.
As long as they don't do the origin stories all over again, I'm good. We don't need that. But, you know, they could do them like Spider-Man, and I think it'd be okay.
Yeah.
It's just, I think that's going to come to that. But you think there's going to be a moment where this eventually dies out? Like,
I think there has to be, because at a certain point they're just going to run out of bankable characters.
Yeah.
Like, I would see a Howard the Duck movie, but I don't think a lot of people else would.
Yeah, I feel like, I think Black Panther was that sort of line, or people being like, okay, if this doesn't do well, then maybe perhaps we're not.
Yeah, that's been the most successful of them all.
Yeah. So it's like, well, okay, how far down the hole can they go? It seems like they can go pretty far right now. I think also, I mean, Black Panther was also like a cultural thing. So it hit a lot of notes that you're not going to hit with too many other ones that we haven't seen yet, because, you know, you had all black cast that were all cast well and in important roles, with a great director, with everybody behind it and everything else. And I don't even know if you can have something like that with like all Latino cast or something, or, you know, where it could even come close. So it was also a really good movie, but I just wonder how much more they can really pull out of the hat before people get like, all right, I don't know, I'm kind of done with this. But hey, we still keep doing Star Wars, so.
Not until we get a Stiltman movie about Spider-Man's arch villain Stiltman.
I don't know. What do you think about all that news with the Deadpool animated thing with Donald Glover? And
I think what FXX said was a joke. Like, oh, Donald Glover's too busy. I'm like, he's like, no, I'm not. Like, even if he was, he sounded pretty enthused about doing it. Like, he would have found the time.
He already does a show for FX. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
I could see them canceling it because they just didn't want to step on the movie, or like have it be too out there. Which is a shame. Like, I think having that show would have done good for the movie, because like they could have had two different Deadpools. Like, you know, why not?
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't have to be tied into the, you know, X-Men, all that. It could just be its own thing. And yeah, I would have really liked to see what Donald Glover would have done with that. Do you think he tries to take it to Netflix or
I don't think
HBO
he can,
or something?
He might be able to, but I don't think he can, honestly.
Yeah,
because Netflix couldn't touch it. I don't think because the whole mutant thing.
but isn't Disney gonna own FX? Like,
Eventually, but they don't own it right now.
Right.
And even if they do, they're gonna. Even if Disney wanted to make this show, they would have it be put on their stupid streaming service that no one cares about.
Well, you can't say that yet. The streaming service doesn't exist.
So they're also going to have an M-rated, an adult-themed Deadpool cartoon.
Yeah, they did say that already. They said that would be on Hulu. Which, I mean, it's not bad for it to be on Hulu. They have other Marvel shows. I mean, the Runaways one does well enough. So, and
that's not adult-themed.
Well, it's not adult-themed, but what I'm saying is, like, it's proven that they can have Marvel shows on Hulu and it does okay.
Yeah.
So, if you have a Deadpool, I mean, freaking Handmaid's Tale was pretty mature, and that won Emmys. So,
yeah, but it's not making fun of other Marvel properties,
right?
Like, did you hear about the story about Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite that came out like a few days ago? No. So some dude was hired at Capcom to make trailers for all the characters. And he was told, like, there was a directive from Marvel saying that Marvel heroes couldn't get beaten up in their trailers. Or in any trailers. So you couldn't have, like, Iron Man getting beaten up by, like, Ryu or something.
Okay.
That's crazy.
The game is called Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Like, come on. Why can Marvel... Oh, my God. That's just dumb.
Yep.
Like, if I'm Capcom, I'd just stop making another one of those games.
Yeah, I don't think they are. I think there's some rumors they're just going to do, like, a Capcom versus Capcom thing, which they had they actually do have the roster to do that if they want to do.
Why not just do, like, a Capcom versus, like, SNK and... Or...
I think SNK might be a little too... They could, but I don't think SNK is in a position anymore where people really care about them that much.
Or freaking do Capcom versus Bandai Namco. Bandai Namco, sorry. You put, like, make Street Fighter versus Tekken the game it should have been, or whatever.
Instead of Tekken versus Street Fighter to finally come out.
Yeah. I mean, and then you can also have the Soul Calibur people in there and other assorted, you have Pac-Man fighting Ryu like in Smash. So,
yeah.
I mean, they could do some fun stuff with that if they wanted to, but I mean, it would probably sell. It may not sell as well without the Marvel license in there, but I think it would still sell fine. I mean, those anime fighting ones sell well enough. So
yeah, but there's a bigger fan base for those.
The Project X Zone games sell well enough. I don't know if they want to go through the hassle of making another one, but it's that possibility's there, I guess. I guess we'll have to see how that SNK tag girls thing that NIS is coming out with does.
Yeah, that'll be great.
Yeah. Speaking of, also along with the Deadpool lines, the X-Men Dark Phoenix New Mutants has been delayed all the way until February 2019 because there isn't enough time to complete the reshoots. Of course, this also includes, Michael Fassbender and Jennifer Lawrence. They also won't be free until August or September of 2018. So,
yeah. I mean, that's what happens when you have, like, smaller actors and they get big, as their schedule fills up.
Yep.
It sounds like New Mutants, though, like, that's approaching, like, disaster level quality movie.
That's sad. Because I really like the
trailer
direction
looks
they've
fine.
gone.
the trailer for that looked okay as it was. Like, they don't need to add a new character and reshoot half the movie.
Did they say why they're doing that?
I think Fox's answer was like, we want it to be more scary, or like more of like its own identity or something like that. It's like, that's
I know they said they kind of wanted it to be like a horror movie, but you don't have to make it a full-on horror movie.
Well, also, like, it looked like already a horror movie. Like, that trailer was very horror movie looking like.
The stuff with the hands coming out of the wall, though, was just... I was like, okay, this is corny. But it's fine. Like, I do like the fact that they're trying to do their own thing, right? Like,
yeah,
they could just do something safe and it'd be fine, but I do appreciate that at least. They could go in much worse directions. Do you think it actually comes out?
Oh, yeah, because they need it to come out. I don't know if it'll do well. Like, I'm not sure, like, a horror movie, X-Men themed horror movie is going to do that great, but we'll see.
Let's hope Disney doesn't can it if they ever get the takeover.
It's already well past that point. Like, they're going to can a movie, like, when there's trailers out for it and stuff like that.
True. Let's hope so. Anyway.
Like, I just think it's kind of, like, not a good omen for that franchise.
Probably not, but you never know. We've had movies be in development hell or whatever, and then they come out and they're actually good. So
yeah, I just wonder how well Solo's going to do in a few months, whenever that comes out.
That trailer looked awesome, though. So if it's like that, I'm good. I'm watching it. Of course, I'm the one that liked Rogue One, so.
You're the one.
Hey, it's not bad.
that actually was one funny thing about Ready Player One, is like I think there's another thing with Ben Mendelsohn. He always plays the bad guy.
It's true. Sorry, it's kind of late, so I'm yawning. But, alright, we're pretty much almost done here. The Captain Marvel has their important characters that are going to be in the movie pretty much set. Of course, this is supposed to be the first Marvel character that Nick Fury meets. So you have Samuel L. Jackson in the movie, which, of course, we know his long-running deal with, well, I'm signed to a bunch of films, but they never put me in any of the movies recently, so I'm kind of just hanging out. Ronan the Accuser is going to come back, so Lee Pace is going to be on that. And Jimon Hansu, he plays Korath.
Yeah, he was in Guardians. Yeah, he was a robot guy.
So he's probably going to be in it as well, so nice cast. Along with Brie Larson playing Captain Marvel. So,
and Clark Gregg is back in it.
Yeah, Clark Gregg as well. So, because this is going to be set in the 90s. Which...
I want him wearing a really bad toupee.
Yes. We need that. Even though I can see him being bald, too.
No, I want to be wearing a bad toupee, and at the end it gets ripped off, and he's like, oh, this is better this way.
Would make a lot of sense. Let's do it.
That's fine. I think Ronan was kind of underwritten in Guardians 1.
Yeah, he was.
So having more of that character will probably be good.
I thought Lee Pace was really good as him, though. So I kind of hope you see more of him.
I like Lee Pace, but I don't want to have him covered up by 30 pounds of makeup.
We just need to have Karen Gillian covered up in 30 pounds of makeup instead. I guess. Maybe that messes her up too. I mean, hey. They make it work for these movies. I'm just I'm sort of excited to see Captain Marvel finally get to be on the screen. So, in her own movie.
Sure.
Hopefully it does well. Because, for every Black Panther, you have an Ant-Man. So there's also that possibility, too.
Yeah.
And I'm a King Arthur fan. So, except for the live-action movie, that wasn't too great. But
I mean, which one? There've been like 4 in the past 10 years.
Yeah, the one with Clive Owen and that's with Keira Knightley.
Okay, I think that one is Charlie Hunnam, which is also terrible.
That was bad too. Yes. I would, and Frank Miller hasn't had the. I mean, Sin City 2 was bad, but
yep, and the Spirit was bad.
Yes, and the Spirit was bad. He has a better track record than he has flops, but it's Netflix, so maybe it'll work. Frank Miller's going to be involved in a new King Arthur series called Cursed. It's 10 episodes. It's based on a book by Frank Miller and Tom Wheeler. And it's not like a King Arthur origin story or whatever. Thank God. We don't need that anymore. It's actually based on a story through the eyes of a girl named Namu, who later becomes Lady of the Lake. So that's actually we don't really get that story, if ever. So actually sort of interesting. Or do you not think it's interesting? Or?
It reminds me of that Merlin show.
Some people really like that Merlin show, though.
And also, it's Nimue, not Namu.
Oh, sorry.
I think Frank Miller was good in the 80s. Everything he's written past then has been terrible. He did a completely horrible Batman comic a few years ago where he literally had Batman running around saying, "I'm the goddamn Batman." Like, seriously. It wasn't a joke. But then people latched onto it and just made fun of it constantly. Yeah, Merlin was fine. I just don't think King Arthur really plays that well anymore.
No, it doesn't.
Like they've tried to reboot that I don't want to say franchise, but that story like so many times, and like it's not latched on. Merlin was fine, but it was also a pretty different spin on it than most of them are.
Right.
So I think that's what kind of worked, and also it was well acted, so that helped.
It was on Sci-Fi, right?
Well, it was a BBC One show, I think.
Oh, okay.
BBC, maybe like BBC Two or something like that. But yeah,
that also helps when BBC gets something. They usually do things right.
Yeah.
So you let Americans have something like that, it's usually.
We get the Charlie Hunnam King Arthur.
Yeah. Oh boy. And I really like Charlie Hunnam as an actor, but that was.
I like him in certain things, but in other things he seems very ill-suited to be in.
I'd agree with that.
I would say the only two things that I actually liked him in were Green Street Hooligans and Undeclared.
Well, Sons of Anarchy, he's perfect. So.
I stand by what I said.
You didn't like him in Sons of Anarchy?
He was okay, but I thought the character was written very stupidly.
Yeah, I don't know. I just really liked him as Jackson.
He was a good enough character, but the world around him seemed very dumb.
Yeah, there was definitely things about that show that you just kind of have to deal with it.
And the whole new Mayans prequel thing is like, all right, well,
that seems like that's gonna do not great.
Yeah,
Just gonna say that. Like, I mean, props to them for trying to continue the story, but aren't they supposed to be doing a movie of that? Or there
There's
was at
talk.
one point?
Yeah, there was talk about them doing like a John Teller prequel movie or something. That'll probably go about as far as that Sopranos movie they were talking about doing also.
Yeah. I mean, that would have been interesting, but yeah, it seems like a lot to, unless they were going to put it on like Netflix or something. But going to the theater with it, I don't know.
And Roseanne got a second season already.
That does not surprise me at all. I couldn't stop laughing at the first two episodes. So, did you watch them or?
I just watched the first one. I didn't catch the second one yet, but I'll catch it soon.
Did you like it?
I don't like Roseanne as a character anymore. Like I thought the turn with her was like very bizarre.
Yeah, it was weird having them, like, her and sister play the opposite role.
Like, I thought it was weird in the beginning when her and Dan were talking about like trading medication because I don't have enough, and then
That
she's
was
like,
funny, though.
well, it's funny until you realize like the reason they don't have enough is because like the politics of it, and then she's like, I'm for the guy who's going to take away my health insurance. It's like, wait a second.
That doesn't make sense.
You may not want to do that. And the thing I do like is I like Emma Kenny a lot. She's the oldest granddaughter.
Okay.
I think her name is Harris in the show.
The one that's...
She's Darlene's daughter.
Okay, the one that's, like, trying to find herself, or what?
Well, she's like the teenager.
Okay. Yeah, yes. Okay. Sorry, that's the boy is the one that's...
Yeah, he's the quote-unquote gender fluid one or whatever.
Yeah.
But no, I like her a lot. I don't know if you ever watched Shameless, but she's great in that. So
yes, she is. Yes. She's the
Debbie on that show.
Right, yeah. Sorry, it's like I've watched like half of the first season of Shameless, and that's one of those things I keep saying, okay, I'm going to go back and watch it, and then
you'll catch right up on those 8 seasons that you missed.
Yeah, exactly. That's a lot to go through. But yeah, I just like, I enjoyed the coming back to it, and
oh sure,
it kept the same tone sort of, except for they had to update it for 2018, which that's totally fine, and that you're gonna have to do that. And
so which old show would you like them to like bring back?
Oh God, I don't really. I don't have too many old shows that I was like absolutely in love with that I'd want them to just bring back today. Like, do you have
Step by Step? No. I could see like Married with Children maybe. That can't come back, but that'd be cool if it did. I don't know, maybe Perfect Strangers.
That'd be fine. Like Married with Children, I would like to see. Just
there was talk. There was talk about doing that like a few years ago. With the show premise would be like Bud Bundy moves back into his parents' house. Like they win the lottery, and he moves back into their house, and he has like an ex-wife and 2 kids or something. The problem with that show is it has like a rights issue, I think. Like one of the creators died, and there's some protracted legal problem with that.
That makes sense. Plus, I mean, like, the original characters would have to make like spot appearances basically, because there's no way they could.
Yeah, that's the problem. The other problem is Ed O'Neill. Like he's locked into Modern Family, so.
Right? Like, there's no way he could. I mean, like, Katie Sagal is not.
She's doing another show.
Yeah.
but I think she's doing like Superior Donuts or something stupid like that.
Yeah, and then Christina Applegate is like doing.
She said she's retired, like she's like being a mom. But I'm sure if they threw money at her, she'd be like, "All right, time to get the push-up bra and miniskirt. Let's go."
That's just funny because the last show that I remember her being in was the one with, or was she basically a mom?
Yeah.
With oh god, what's his
Will
name?
Arnett.
Yes, that one.
Yeah.
Which I liked, and then they canceled it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. Like, I really liked Family Matters as a kid, so I'm sure Urkel's not doing. Julia White is doing like whatever. So, but I think other than that, I watched a lot of cartoons and like Legend of the Hidden Temple and stuff like that. Which aren't they supposed to bring that back?
No, they made a movie on it about it.
Oh, okay, that's right. Which I
still
not to watch.
Like Kirk Fogg in it, like he was like a cameo or something like that.
Well, I think that's gonna do it for us here. Talking about games this week. Terra finally comes to consoles. Yay.
Yeah, I have no cachet with that thing at all.
I'm surprised it's still doing decently well. That they are having it come to consoles now.
You know the show they could bring back? WCW.
They tried. Vince killed it before it was ever even something.
Yeah, but if you can bring back the XFL, you can bring back WCW.
We'll just have to wait till Triple H takes it over. Then he'll be like, we need to have WCW again. Let's do it.
I think there's been rumors that they're trying to bring back King of the Hill and Beavis and Butthead.
Yes. What was Mike Judge really gonna do that? Like,
I think he said if maybe if my schedule's clear, maybe why not? Like,
is he doing other stuff besides Silicon Valley?
No.
Okay, then. I also really am not a fan of TJ Miller anymore after Mike Judge said why he's not on the show this season.
You may not like Ready Player One then, because he's in that.
Oh, I mean, I get it that he's in that, but I liked his character in the show, and then he's not on it anymore, and then for him to be like, oh yeah, TJ Miller just decided that he's going to show up late and
yeah, he seemed like he got kind of a big head.
Yeah,
which is ironic because there's a character in the show called Big Head.
Yeah. I like the first episode. It's back to the whole "woe is me" stuff keeps happening to us thing, but
I really want them to either pull the pin on the Richard Amanda romance,
yeah,
or have them actually succeed.
I agree. You need to either have something good happen to them,
yeah,
because it's just been downhill. Every time they have something positive, it's like, psh.
Yeah, it can be some abstract thing they won a competition, or they got over on Gavin Belson in this one way. It has to be an actual tangible thing, because by episode 5, they're going to be out of that office and back in the incubator like always.
Right. The fact that they still live in the incubator,
yeah,
probably tells you already. But I mean, I don't know how long Mike Judge wants to keep doing it, but I would hate for them to not have some kind of good ending because he took too long. But
right.
We'll see. It seems to do well for HBO, so I guess until it's not doing that, then they'll be okay. Penny Punching Princess comes to PS4 and PS Vita. That's an NIS game. Agony, which I have no idea what that is, comes to major consoles. Go ahead.
You have 7 games listed here. I know what one of them is.
Yeah, Hollow Knight finally comes to the Switch. Crisis on the Planet of the Apes to the VR. That's that VR game that... Is that the one that came out early, wasn't supposed to come out, and then they had to pull it, and now it's coming out again?
No idea.
And Terror Rhythm I keep getting emails about, which I might go ahead and do because it's a rhythm game, so why not? Adventure Pals looks decent. But,
yeah. That will be my justification for bugging you for that Persona 4 Dancing All Night thing when it comes out on PS4.
Yeah. I'll probably just get that combination pack or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So you can just do all 3, and there you go. So that's fine. I mean, you really love those games, so why would you not enjoy the music? I mean,
yeah,
play the heck out of it. Too bad they can't have you dancing. That'd be great.
But then I wouldn't review it.
I want to that video of Mark dancing. We gotta have it,
especially not with my ankle.
True. Forgot about that part. But all right, that's it for this week. I'm probably gonna be so dead going to work tomorrow. It's gonna be great. So.
Oh. Yeah, go to bed. I thought you had tomorrow off.
No, I have Sunday and Monday off, but it's okay. I'll make it. Yeah. So if you like what you heard, sorry for all the we went off on tangents and stuff, but this was sort of a light week. So, and lots of shows kind of started or came back, so we got to talk about certain things. And yeah. So join us next week, which
probably be Sunday.
We'll still be talking about Far Cry because there's not a lot of games coming out for us to talk about. Recent that we just mentioned. So yeah, if you like what you heard, hit that subscribe button. Video Games to the Max or the whole W2 network. You get everything we do. Also, go visit forumania.com and Last Word on Life as well. And of course, W10.com, the place you want to go for our game reviews, which this weekend will be me trying to get us as much as I can caught up on that. And yeah, until next week, we'll see you later.
Later. Yeah, I thought you had to.
The following podcast is a W2M Network original production. Visit W2Mnet.com for all of our other great podcasts, plus news, reviews, articles, and opinions from the worlds of wrestling, video games, football, and entertainment.